When I look back in my childhood, I was a highly anxious child, and I never realised that because I didn't know that there was any other way to be. I grew up with a very wounded father. He was domestically violent to our family. He psychologically abused us. He was also a drug user. There was a lot of trauma in our home. I never felt safe. I felt hopeless. I felt like I was alone. When I was about 16, he moved to another country. He came back for a wedding, and we had a huge fight. And he went home and he took his own life. I was 19 at the time. For as long as I can remember, my alarm clock was set to beep when it went off, always beeping. One night I went to sleep and I had a dream, and someone in my dream was saying, "Look for Jesus, look for Jesus." When my alarm clock went off, it wasn't the beeps that I was used to, but a man on the radio saying, "Look for Jesus, look for Jesus." I now realise that was actually the first time I ever heard of Hope. I didn't know that that was Hope, the radio station. Didn't even know a Christian radio station existed, to be honest. After that, I could see the message, look for Jesus. He was telling me to look for him in everyday moments. He was telling me to look for him in the faces of my children. He was telling me to look for him in the love of my husband. He was telling me to look for him in all the moments of happiness. My mum is happy. There was all these things around me that I was somehow blind to, and now all of a sudden I could see them. I could see them in a different way. It's funny how just a simple phrase, 3 simple words, look for Jesus, can change everything. The only thing that has gotten me to this point where I'm having a fantastic life with a great husband and beautiful children, the only thing that's gotten me here is faith, is God. All glory is his. A big period of my life, the need to stay alive was stopping me from seeing that God was there. I was so busy focusing on staying alive that I didn't seem to have any room in my brain to see anything else, to see God's goodness. Hope brings me out of those feelings of hopelessness when I'm feeling that way. It reminds me that God is the answer, and it reminds me of that dream I had to look for Jesus. It reminds me, every time I listen to it, it reminds me of that moment.